Sacred Mysteries.
Hello and welcome to Sacred Mysteries Worldwide channel. I am your host, Reverend MignonGrayson, and you are in the School of Spiritual Learning. And today's discussion is going to be about developing your personal power. I wanted to do this topic because a lot of times we don't understand who we are as spiritual beings. We don't understand who we are as humans walking in this body, spirits walking in this body, and living this life. We have forgotten who we are, and it is our journey, our time, our work to remember who we are. And part of that remembering is walking that spiritual path, walking that spiritual walk, and uncovering the layers that have been put on top of our essential selves by our different incarnations and the things that we've experienced, the wounds, the personality traits, the training, the traditions, and all those types of things have fed into our belief of who we are. And that although some of those things are good, but some of those things we can get caught up in, and then we forget that above and beyond all, we are divine beings. And we have the ability to have our own personal power. And what I mean by personal power means that you have within you energy, force, vibration, and it resonates at different levels depending on a lot of different things. And that energy, vibration, force that you have within you and around you in your auric circle or your spiritual body circle is you can utilize at your own design and for your own designs, and you can develop it to a point where it is more and more strong. We want to do this, and the purpose that we want to do this is that we want to be able to direct that energy to healing in our particular lives. And if we are a healer, we can utilize the strengthening of our personal power to combine with the universal force that we call upon to heal. And that will effectuate a very, very powerful healing for those who become in our circle of service. Now, there are ways in which to ensure that your energy stream is functioning at a decent capacity to a stronger capacity to a very powerful capacity. And it takes focus, it takes discipline, it takes awareness, and it takes consistency. And some of these things are everyday things that we do, and some are not so everyday things that we can incorporate that will help us to increase our personal power. Now, one of the things that's very popular that people are indulging in these days is a manifestation. Manifestation meaning specific manifestation. So in that regard, you can utilize your personal power to put behind your manifestations, to boost your manifestations and make them stronger and quicker and more accurate. Now, when you are working on developing your personal power, it is on different levels. It'll be a physical level, mental and emotional level, and an energetic level. And really, when you distill all of that down, it all distills down to energy functioning and flowing at different vibratory rates. And that's what makes them what they are, among other things. And now that's just a simplistic viewpoint. Your personal power is the amount and level of your energy that you can command at any given point. It would be the energy at your disposal, whether the energy is at rest or whether you pull it through into being active. You can you can utilize your personal power and place it behind anything that you're doing. Oh, if it's manifestation, if it's prayers for yourself or other people, affirmations for yourself or other people, mantras, chants, magical workings, if that's something that you do, and also in healing, which is the most important in my personal view, is to utilize it not only to heal yourself, but to help to heal others. And especially if you are a healer, this is an essential area to focus on developing. We come into the world with our personal power at different levels, and it's up to us to either let it stay at that level, or if we want to increase it, we need to work on it. Now, this video is for those who want to work on it and want to increase their personal power. So in essence, in developing your personal power, it will take your will combines with your energy, your vibration, and your frequency. And when you combine those things and place it with intention towards an intention, then it happens. It happens quicker. It happens with accuracy and with power, with strength. Now, I just want to take a moment to say that we all have personal power. We all have the ability to increase it if that's something that we want to do. With your personal power being at a certain potency, you will be able to create your psychic shields around yourself, around your home, and around your loved ones. And so that can be a goal of your increasing your personal power. When you begin to work on your personal power, one of the things that you need to be keenly aware of is your connection to the divine, and that you have the essence of the divine inside of you, and you are an aspect of the divine, and you have the ability to tap in to universal principles, which in turn helps you to tap into universal power. We all have that ability. So first, start to think about that concept of you being a divine being, you being directly connected to source, and that you have the ability to tap into the omnipotent energy that is waiting for you to tap into. This particular source is inexhaustible. It's ever present, and it's ever available to anyone who does the work. And it takes, of course, a particular discipline and training in order to tap into it. But first, you have to have the awareness that this is possible for you. Now, one of the things that we need to also understand that deals with your mindset, your awareness. Now, dealing with your mindset is to start to look at yourself in a different way. Look at yourself as a spiritual being within a physical body in order to function on this physical plane. But this physical plane is one aspect, one very, very small aspect of creation, of reality, and that there are so many other more vast dimensions and realities, and that our spirits are these huge dynamic existence and creations, so that we understand ourselves as a spiritual being housed inside of, it's sort of like a filter. You are that big gigantic light, that big gigantic beingness that is filtered through this physical body. And so there's so much more of you to tap into. This body here is just a small piece of who you are. And your understanding and starting to bring yourself into a better awareness of who you are as a spiritual being will help you when you start to do the different techniques and tools that will help you to build your own personal power. So it's all about awakening your awareness, awakening your connection to the divine, and utilizing that awakening to build and develop your personal power, your energy, your energy, your frequency, and your vibration. First, let's look at it from a physical perspective. You have a physical body that needs to be cared for in order to keep it at its ultimate optimum running condition. What you put into your body matters. How much rest, what you put into your body in terms of foods and environment matters, as well as the type of rest that you have. and also the way you use your body, where you keep it conditioned, whether or not you're exercising. Exercising helps you to be able to channel, because your body is a physical form, so it can only take but so much depending on its physical strength and stamina. So you want your body, you want your skeletal, your muscular, and all of your body, all aspects of your body to be as healthy as possible. So that means to eat right, to sleep well, and to be aware of what you're putting into your body. So not a lot of junk foods, as fresh foods as possible. Get your good amount of vegetables and fruits, and as clean as you can, whether you go organic or just fresh fruits and vegetables and proteins of some type, just making sure that your body is healed. If you're doing supplements and juicing and different things like that, your body being at its best condition is very important in you channeling your power, and you in terms of you increasing your power. Another physical thing that you can do is start to develop and heal your chakras. We have these 7 major chakras, and chakras is CHAKRA, and there are 7 major, and there are many, many more. But the 7 major, are very key. So you learn about those and learn about ways in which to heal those chakras. And to keep them balanced as much as possible, because things go out of balance and go back into balance. So it's always a balancing act. But the main thing is to develop ways in which you can bring your chakras into balance, clear them of unnecessary energy that is blocking the proper functioning of your chakras, so that you can utilize your chakras also as power sources, but connectors to certain aspects of power on the spiritual plane. Spiritual baths, also taking spiritual baths for cleansing purposes and strengthening purposes and psychic ability purposes. You can create spiritual baths that you use on a regular basis in order to clear up your energy, and also to attract the energy that you would like to attract into your life, whether it's to be develop your psychic abilities, or it's to cleanse away things so that it will free you up, so that you are lighter and more able to think clearly and to function more clearly. There are many different types of baths for many things: protection, for love, for prosperity, for health and well-being, and also just connecting to Mother Earth. Mother Earth is a power source for us. So placing our feet on the earth, being in nature, observing nature, and all of that goes on, and understanding how nature works is key, and also understanding how you can tap into your own personal power. The elements factor in significantly into your personal power, because a lot of us function more naturally in certain elements. Like for me, I'm a water person. So when I'm around water or in water, it really resonates me and helps me to vibrate at a level where I'm put in touch with the spiritual plane. And being in touch with the spiritual plane gets you used to functioning on that level, so that when you're ready to increase or tap in to your personal power, you know how to drop into that spiritual realm more quickly when you are constantly utilizing the elements that you're most comfortable with, that put you in that flow state. Some people, it's the wind. The wind also is something that is good for me. Air. I utilize that as well in my spiritual work. And there are others that get more out of working with the soil or crystals and things like that. And then you have fire, you have your flame, you have your heat, you have that kind of, very active energy. And some people function best when they're, in that type of environment, or around of flames and candles and fire pits and fireplaces, and gazing into a fire sends them into the spiritual realm as well. And that's a gateway that you can utilize, because that's what you resonate well with. Now, part of being a well-rounded power builder and a spiritual person is to not only focus on the elements that you are more naturally inclined to, but in order to have access to or have an affinity for the elements that aren't as natural for you is something to work on too, because that gives you more elements and more a natural inclination to call on and pull on these elements to develop your personal power. Physical movement. I mentioned exercise, but things like yoga, Tai Chi, any kind of physical discipline, the gym, bodybuilding to a degree. Sometimes bodybuilding can be too much of a breakdown of your muscles, and then it builds up the muscles, but it's not really as spiritual as yoga, or because yoga and Tai Chi, they really work with the energies, your internal organs, your aura, and all of that type of thing. It was designed for that. It's very ancient. But dance is a very strong spiritual tool that helps you to develop your own personal energy. Now, the breath work is very important. The breath is the only thing that we take into our bodies that we can last without for only a couple of minutes. Everything else we can last for days or even weeks without. But air, a couple of minutes, it's a wrap for your body. So that's how important it is for your physical body. But even more so, it's important in helping to increase your spiritual power, your energetic power base. There are hundreds, probably even thousands of different breathing techniques. In the East Indian spiritual traditions is known, and yoga in particular is known as pranayama, where you're dealing with prana, life force, and breathing it in and activating it in certain ways. And there are different techniques where there's a fire breath, where you're breathing rapidly. There's a very, very slow breath. There are different patterns of breathing, different lock and hold breathing techniques where you breathe in and you hold and then you let it out. So all of these different various breathing techniques do different things, but they work with your spiritual energy centers and start to open things up and allow the flow of energy from the universal force into your body and through into this physical world so that you can affect and make changes. Another thing is your mind. How you think about yourself really, really affects your belief in being able to utilize the energy that is within you and around you to boost up your personal power. So you have to understand who you are as a spiritual being. I started off with that, but it really, really is one of the major parts, because if your mind isn't there, nothing else will get you there. There are other things to help increase your personal power. Sometimes it includes certain types of fasting. It's not necessarily a no food fasting. It's fasting on particular foods for particular periods of time. Other ways to increase your personal power is to line up with the celestial events, such as the full moon, new moon. There are different moons in between that. If you study the moon cycles, you'll learn which ones have the certain energies available, and you can meditate or tap in and focus on tapping into those energies to help increase your personal power. Solstices, equinoxes are also very beneficial times for you to focus on your spirituality, your spiritual strength, and your personal power. So there are lots of opportunities in the wheel of time and the way time happens in the constellation. Earlier in the day or late at night are also very good times to work on developing your personal power. Developing a schedule where you are incorporating techniques to increase your personal power through whatever it is that I've mentioned here. There's so many different ways. And this is part one. There are other ways too, but I just wanted to start with that. There are other ways that are attached to particular traditions, spiritual traditions. So we can get into those in part two of how to increase your personal power. I hope this information has been helpful to you. You know, it's the journey of spirituality is that in which you want to know who you are. And in knowing who you are, you want to be able to live a good life, elevate your consciousness, have an enjoyable and fulfilled life. And if it's in your path, you know, you help others as well. So that's the journey. All of these things that I teach here are all about you getting to be that version of yourself that you know you already have the ability to be. So these teachings hopefully can help, you know, support you on the journey. That's all this is about. You know, my belief, and it is belief, is one of the main themes of Sacred Mysteries Worldwide, is that it is in our destiny to evolve and as individuals and as a collective consciousness. And these teachings and all the teachings that are coming out that are healthy, that are wholesome, will help all of us get there. And the purpose is to experience this life walking as the divine beings we are. And that's it, you know. But anyway, until next time, if you like the video, please hit like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when the next video is coming up, and join me again sometime down the road and check out some of the other videos. And in the description, I'll have some information. There will be different links that you can utilize to get more information on developing your personal power. So until next time, peace. Sacred Mysteries.